Good evening. Apologize for a little bit of the delay we had getting everything organized. We will reconvene the September 7th County Council meeting at this time and go to item 12. And we will open the public hearing, and now we will hear the staff report.
Mr. Chair, this is our first public hearing on our 17-18 budget. As you'll see tonight, has a total of 60 different funds. Our total operating budget, the operating budget, is $712 million. Our total budget with capital is $850 million. We're presenting tonight a flat millage rate. It's presented for all the taxing funds, so it's actually keeping the rate from the previous year. What does this include? In addition to dealing with a lot of the issues that face us, the goal of this plan is to keep the Go to Zero debt payoff plan for 2018. We're going to keep all of our emergency reserves at least where they are, which is general fund at 8.9%, MSD at 5%, library fund at 7.9%, East Volusia Mosquito Control, Ponce de Leon, and Fire District all at 10%. Our goal is to try and get the general fund back up to 10%. We clearly, while we're stressed, are planning on making sure that all the major capital that we presented to you will get funded, move forward. We may delay a few things a little bit, maybe an extra year. The one-time funding that we're going to have, the capital is going to use for the medical examiner facility. We're going to start that design. As you know, that's an issue for us, and it was an artificial issue in the paper. The sheriff CAD and RMS system, we're going to put money in that. A really important one that we cannot take any chances on, we are going to fund the 800 megahertz radio backbone. And we're going to fund that to the tune, it's not all the money, but the tune of $6 million. Corrections Jail Network, that one's really important. We're putting a piece of that in. We are at capacity on the old system we have. That was part of that whole issue when we get hit by lightning. We are so much at capacity out there, and these systems so old, we had the issue with vegetation, if you remember, for a while where the whole system was out. And that'll be part of that correction. And then the elections warehouse for fiscal year 16-17 is a total of $4.1 million, and we're going to have available in this budget $2.2 million. All of our personnel service costs are budgeted at a 3% salary adjustment for all of the groups through the 5-year forecast, and in this year specifically. With that, Tammy can take you through the details of the rates.
Good evening, Tammy Bong, Budget and Administrative Services Director. For the public listening audience today and those in the chambers tonight, I'm going to just go over a few highlights of the budget. I'm going to read, of course, the millage rates for each of the fund for your consideration. When we get to that point, you will be adopting those rates individually. Today is also called what is called the TRIM process. This is part of the Department of Revenue that you received some notification today. It's part of Florida Statute 200.065 of the Florida statutes. The property appraiser is in attendance today. If anybody has any questions as it pertains to value, he would be happy to assist them tonight. May 18th was our mini budget that we presented the 5-year forecast, and the budget presented tonight is in line with that forecast. On July 20th, you set the millage rates, and those millage rates went out in the proposed property tax notices that the homeowners received right around August 18th. So with that, the total general fund ad valorem taxes for fiscal year 18 is $182.5 million, a $12.6 million difference, and we're going to talk about what that difference is and how we allocated those resources. The millage rate, as Jim mentioned, is a flat millage rate of 6.1 mils. If you're looking at property value, it's important to take into consideration new construction. New construction has a demand for services and so forth, and of the taxes that we've generated, 2.5 has a direct relationship of the new construction, and 10.1 for assessment changes, values going up and down, commercial, residential, and all the classifications. The allocation of the new construction has, right off the top, as you know, is for the CRA. Money we do not keep, we forward on to those entities of $1 million. The other area is Votran. You will see that listed twice. 1.5 is a direct relationship to level of service stress demands for the system, where we have increased the not level of service, but for those demands. When you talk about your budget, you have to take into consideration the cost of providing governmental services. And that is, every time the cost of procuring services go up, we're trying to adjust our budget in accordance with that. So the average CPI was about 3.5%. So $6.5 million of the ad valorem tax increase is a direct relationship to the CPI taxes. And we've allocated those towards the 3% pay increase that is part of Jim's budget submittal, the remaining balance of the Votran, the emergency medical evac, and the elections warehouse. And of course, the remaining difference is a 3.6. So this is the difference of additional growth in our tax base and what are those services being used for. Of course, to obtain our Go to Zero plan, we put some additional, almost $800,000, a little more, towards that debt redemption so we can accomplish that goal in the budget forecast. And the capital improvements, as Jim mentioned, was the medical examiner and the 800 megahertz backbone project, which are very crucial, especially with the hurricanes coming. It's a very crucial element of the operation. Now I'm going to go into the millage rates, and all I'm going to do is just read them into the record for your consideration as you deliberate. Your general fund, again, all the rates I'm going to list, the same rate, so I'm not going to repeat all columns. Your general fund is submitted at 6.1 mils. Your library is presented at 0.5520 mils. Your Volusia Forever, which is your operating portion, is presented at 0.0905 mils, and your Volusia Echo is at 0.2, both of those as outlined in your referendum. The part needed to maintain your debt service payment for your Volusia Forever is 0.1095 mils. And then we get into your special taxing districts. So again, they have a very direct connection to those services being rendered, not countywide, but a very specific. East Volusia Mosquito Control District is at 0.1880. At Ponce de Leon Port Authority is at 0.0929. Municipal Service District is 2.2399. Silver Sands Bethune is at 0.0150. And your fire rescue services is at 4.0815. Your budget, that is your total budget submitted for your consideration today, is your operating budget is at $712,641,123. Your non-operating budget is $141,719,569. So at this point, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and we'd be happy to answer any questions, or if we're ready to go into each of those separate actions, I'd be happy to assist in that.
Mr. Chair, one of the things I would want to mention in this presentation, this started with a previous council. I'm looking at a couple of the people that encouraged us to do this. One of the things that we had gotten criticized, I think we do a better budget process than a lot of places, but one of the things that people, won't say criticized, but had a question about was if we have additional money, one, where did it come from? She showed you new construction, whatever. And they wanted, in a lot of cases, especially if you're not going to do partial rollback or whatever, they wanted to know where the money went. So that's why we put specifically where that money went, so that everyone knew exactly, and especially like, for example, the new construction, you'll see like the extra demand on Votran is from new construction. And so I really do believe that people liked it better because they understood now exactly how much extra money we got and where it went. And I hope that satisfies everyone in terms of a quick explanation.
Any questions?
At this time, we have public participation as well.
That's what I was going to do now.
Okay, sorry.
We have Stephen Kittner. And if you'll state your name and address for the record, Stephen.
Been here once, twice. I'm Stephen Kentner. I'm the Conservation Chair for West Volusia Audubon, 2412 Oxford Road, DeLand, Florida. Some of you know I play a few other roles in the community. I am a volunteer at Lyon Environmental Center. I am the lead docent, and I head the Friends Group that provides services to the center. Been involved with Lander Environmental Center from the very, very beginning, back when it was just a dream in Pat Norley's eye and mine.
Oh, yeah.
And very proud of what we've been able to accomplish there. The budget you have proposed, what I've looked online, is fine. Fully support that. My concern is your rumors I keep hearing that there's this plan afoot to dramatically reduce services at Lander Environmental Center. We service a lot of people in the west side of the county. We created this because council made a commitment or promise that we would match the Marine Science Center on the east side with a west side environmental learning center. And we use that as part of our discussions for the ECHO funding. When we're out doing that, we talked to them about what they wanted, and the citizens really wanted to see a west side environmental learning center. So we fulfilled that promise. And we're a busy, busy place. Any of you who stop by to see us know we're busy. Lots of people coming in, lots of people visiting with us, and we talk to people from around the world. I have a guy who came in just recently from China to add a scrub jay to his life list, birder. All right? We have people coming from Poland here just recently to add a scrub jay to their life list. Birders are crazy, in case you didn't know that. So at any rate, what I ask you to do is to please fund the Learning Center at the levels you have in the budget. Don't consider reducing that funding. It's important, so keep the funding, the staffing, and the level of service as it is today, and we will make you proud because we're bringing in more and more people, and we're teaching them a lot about water, a lot about the environment, and what they need to be doing to be better stewards. We call it teaching sense of place. So that's my pitch this evening, and I hope that you will do the right thing.
Thank you,
Thank you all
Stephen.
very, very much.
I just always go ahead. It's always curious to see who starts those rumors because I think each of us probably received emails on it, and I'd not even heard it discussed at any of our meetings since May that there was any consideration of cutting that. But you do a wonderful job. So, but anyway,
I'm sorry. I know I'm breaking the rules here.
you are.
We Pat
We'll
Norley
let
did
you
make
do
a
this
public-
one time.
Pat Norley did make a public records request. We have seen a plan being developed by staff that would dramatically reduce the service. So
That's old news.
Yeah, and let me clarify this, because this happens all the time. They get a public records request. When I ask staff to do an analysis for me, it is for me to then come to you. That's all that was. So that was a request for me just to ask for an analysis of how that place is funded. And then that jumps ahead as though we're making a decision.
Thank you, Stephen.
very much.
You're good to go, and the good work that y'all do out there and the services provided is money well invested.
Mr. Chair, I
At
will
this time, sorry,
You all know I'm a loyal citizen.
Stephen.
I just want to say,
I know you were here for 42 years, but sorry.
I went over this past week and visited the LEC, the Liona Center there, and it was fascinating, and I enjoyed it. Marine Science Center too, I visited here. The two last places I can say were on my bucket list to visit as a member of the county council, and I was really impressed with what was going on over there.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
With that, that's the only card I had, Marcia, so we will close the public hearing portion, and council, it's up to you.
If you have no other dialogue, I would be happy to read into the rates, and you can discuss each of the taxing funds as they come up, if you would like.
We have to vote on each one.
Separately.
Okey-doke. If you'll do that, we will go forward.
Okay. Your general fund ad valorem tax rate is at 6.1000 mils, 5.9% greater than the rollback rate. And we would be looking for a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Patterson.
I move approval of the general fund ad valorem tax rate of 6.1000 mils.
Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Lowry. Is any discussion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion carries unanimous. Thank you.
The library fund is presented at 0.5520 mils, which is 6.2% greater than the rollback rate.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to pass the millage for the library fund of 0.5520.
Is there a second? Second, Wheeler. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion passes unanimous. Thank you, and we'll move to the next
The
one.
Volusia Forever Operating Fund is presented at .0905 mils, which is 3.2% greater than the rollback rate.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the Volusia Forever Operating Fund ad valorem tax rate of .0905 mils.
Is there a second? Ms.
I
Cusack?
second that.
Second by Ms. Cusack. Ms. Cusack, you have a comment, or that was,
I was going to make the motion because that's why I had my light on.
Oh,
it
I haven't heard anybody, so.
it popped up a little bit late. The motion is made and seconded. Any objection to the motion? Hearing no objections, the motion passes unanimous. We'll move to,
Ready? Volusia Forever Fund voted debt service is presented at .1095 to meet the debt service requirements.
That's the Volusia Echo?
Volusia Forever Fund voted debt service.
did you skip the echo, or?
You step- Echo.
I was going off of the,
Number 4 on
the itemized.
on the agenda. We're looking
I
at
was
the-
just reading off the agenda outline instead of the
Oh, okay,
resolution.
I was looking
At
at
the
I'll get to them all,
printed,
sorry.
okay.
That's not what we had before.
Oh, you want me to read them off the PowerPoint?
Absolutely.
Let me get
Well-
you there. I'm sorry, my
I'm
apologies.
looking at the agenda.
I'll try to put them in the same order
That's
next time
okay.
around, thank you.
We just have to find it.
Well, we were right on the same until this one. They were exactly the
It
same.
doesn't
until
have
this
my
one.
percentages, so I have to go to the other document. to
Okay,
get
so
those.
you go ahead and read that one again. The one you just read was
Okay.
the,
Volusia Forever Fund voted debt service is ad valorem tax rate of .1095 mils.
is there a motion? Motion by Lowry. Second?
Second.
Second, Cusack. You gotta remember now, we've been here all day. And if you- any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous.
Volusia
Next.
Echo.
There we go.
Ad valorem tax rate is presented at .20 mils, 6.1% greater than the rollback rate.
Ms. Cusack,
Mr. Chair, I will move for the approval of the Volusia Echo millage of 0.20000.
Second.
second Patterson. Any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous.
The next one is your East Volusia Mosquito Control District, ad valorem tax rate of .1880, which is 6.2% greater than the rollback rate.
Chair, I make a motion to approve the East Volusia Mosquito Control District Fund ad valorem tax rate of 0.11, or 0.1880 mils.
Motion, second by Wheeler. Motion made by Post, second by Wheeler. Any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous.
The next is your Ponce de Leon Inlet and Port District Fund, ad valorem tax rate of .0929 mils, which is 6.2% greater than rollback rate.
Ms. Wheeler,
Yes, motion to approve .0929 Ponce de Leon Inlet and Port District Fund ad valorem tax rate.
is there a second? Second, Cusack. Any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous. And we'll move to the municipal MSD.
Municipal Service District Tax Fund is presented at 2.2399 mils, which is 4.9% greater than the rollback rate.
Mr. Chair, move approval of the MSD millage at 2.2399.
Second.
Second, Patterson. Any objection? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous. We'll move to the Silver Sands.
Silver
Mhm.
Sands ad valorem tax rate is presented at .0150 mils, which is 3.4% greater than the rollback rate.
Wheeler. Oh, you're still up. Ms. Wheeler.
Valorem tax rate at .0150 mils.
Second.
Second, Denny's. Motion made and second. Any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion will carry unanimous.
The Fire Rescue District Fund is presented at 4.0815 mils, which is 5.0% greater than the rollback rate.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the Fire Rescue District Fund ad valorem tax rate of 4.0815 mils.
I
Since I-
second it.
Live in that district.
Motion's made and seconded by Post, made by Patterson. Any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous.
The next action will be your tentative budget. The approval to adopt the fiscal year 2017-18 tentative operating budget totaling $712,641,123 and a non-operating budget of $141,719,569.
And we can do this together. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move approval to adopt the fiscal year 2017-18 tentative operating budget totaling $712,641,123 and a non-operating budget of $141,719,569.
Second, Wheeler. Any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous.
The last action tonight, which is a requirement for us to be able to advertise, is, we had a little dialogue on this subject, is the second public hearing. Right now, we have it tentatively scheduled for Thursday, September 21st, 2017 at 6 p.m. here in the Thomas C. Kelly Administrative Building. And I look for your guidance if you want to confirm that date and or select a different date based upon the availability of doing such.
Ms. Cusack.
Mr. Chair, I move that we confirm that date of September 21st at 6 p.m. for our second and final hearing on our budget.
Second, Wheeler. Any objection to the setting of the date for the second hearing? Hearing no objection, the motion carries unanimous, and I think that's the end of the
That
chart.
concludes your term process. Thank you.
And unless there's any comment by council, we can all go prepare for Irma. A meeting adjourned.